Hey folks, today I want to take you through a workout that is designed to address sciatic pain and give you a little bit of relief. That is one of the top things that I see students coming to me in my studio looking for relief, having to do with sciatic nerve. So that's what we're going to address today. I have a TheraBand. We'll use that in a little bit. If you don't have one, you could do these exercises without it, but it is nice to have. So let's go ahead and come onto our mat, laying on our back. I'm in a neutral spine, so just as a refresher, if you're not familiar with that, my hip bones and pubic bone are level. There's a little space under the small of my spine, so I'm not trying to flatten my back into the mat or create a bigger arch there. So nice level pelvis. I'll bring my legs up to tabletop, and I'll start by dipping one heel down and back up. That's going to engage my low abs. Why that's important is because those low abs are going to support my low spine and help give me some relief there. Now, the heel does not have to touch the mat. It might touch the mat, but that's never our objective. I'm thinking about keeping my core engaged, and I could also do this with one leg down. A simpler version would be to do this here, just keeping a leg down, and then I would switch legs and do the other side, up and down, all right? But we're gonna come back to tabletop. We'll do a few more, dip, dip, dip. And then let's bring both legs together and we'll dip and lift. Now you'll see I don't go nearly as far when we get to both legs, because if I went farther, you'd see my abs puffing out and my back arching. So this is not about the distance, it's about the control. That lifting up, engaging your low abs. Think about pulling your navel in and supporting your spine. Let's do a few more of those for 3, 2, and 1. Take your arms out to a T. We're going to do a nice lumbar spine twist here. I look the opposite way that my knees are going. That helps my fascia to glide. Pull those legs up through the middle, go to the other side. A nice stretch. Maybe those legs touch the ground, maybe they don't. Let's do one more time each way because these feel really good. And then go the other way. All right, from this position, we're going to do 2 pieces of the series of 5 that I think are really effective for addressing sciatic nerve. So we're going to start with a single leg. Your head could stay down. If you feel like that's better for you, leave your head down. I'm going to lift my head up, but always know that's an option. I'm going to round forward, pull one leg in as I extend the other leg, and then switch, reaching long. Core's engaged, reaching that leg long, still keeping that neutral spine. And this leg that's extending could go higher. If I needed a higher leg, that's an option. Or if I want a little more challenge, I go a little bit lower. One more each way. All right, pull both legs in. Let's do the double leg version. So I'm going to reach the arms and legs out, circle arms and legs around. Again, take those legs at a height that you can support. Really starting to feel my lower abdominals fire here. How about 2 more? Hug your knees into your chest, maybe give that a little rock from side to side. So we'll do a little bit of bridging next, and we'll start with a small bridge. So I can just barely touch my heels with my fingertips. My feet are going to be hip distance apart. I start in that neutral spine, little space, but I'm going to come out of that. We do this in a controlled manner. I'll start by imprinting my spine. So now my spine is against the mat, and then just curling my tailbone under, only moving below the belly button, and then uncurling. So that gives me a really nice stretch of my lower back, but also really recruits these muscles here. So imprint, just hover your bottom, feel the glutes working a little bit, and then curl back. Almost like a dog when they've done something wrong, how they tuck their tail. That's what we're doing. So we're making this very small, just a nice little tuck of that pelvis. And this can feel really nice, especially if you sit a lot for your job or for your lifestyle, or maybe you drive a lot. Sometimes these muscles get a little angry and they need a little stretching out. They get a little uncomfortable. So this one can feel really good. and let's do that a couple more times. Now you could stop right there. That might be all that you want from a bridge. We're going to do a few full bridges. I'm not going to do very many. I have a little upper spine thing that we'll maybe make another video about, but full bridge would be coming all the way up. Pause for an inhale, exhale, articulate all the way down. So let's just do 4 more of those. Are you breathing as you go? That breath is so important. If we're taking full breaths, we're using so many muscles throughout our torso. And I think I have a full video on breathing. If you're not quite sure how to do that Pilates breath, go look for that video. Maybe I'll tag it here. I've lost count, so we're going to add 1 more on just to make sure we got everything we needed. All right, you get to pull those knees into your chest. And let's draw some little circles with your knees, just circling around. And yes, we're flattening the back and arching the back here, and that's all meant to be a stretch, so it's fine. Reverse your circle. All right, let's come on up and let's use that band. So we are going to do a clamshell. So I'm wrapping the band around my legs, and if you didn't have a band, you could do all of this without the band. I just like the extra resistance that the band gives me. So I'm propped up on my side body, working through those obliques. Heels are together, and I open and close, really working into the outside of my glutes. Now, a more advanced option would be to have those heels lifted. So that could be something that maybe you want to try, or maybe you want to work up to. And that's 10. All right, let's take it to a hinge. So just a hinge, up and down, working against that resistance. But these are effective even if you don't have the band. You're still going to feel those muscles working. So don't worry. Bands are pretty inexpensive, but if you don't have one, you can still do this whole workout. 2 more. 2 and 1. All right, let's turn it around. I guess I can keep that band on. I don't need to take that off. We'll go to the other side. Propping up on your forearm. So starting with your clamshell, hold that band. I'm going to have my heels lifted, but again, you could have those heels down. We're shooting for about 10. Three more. All right, down with both legs, and we hinge. The whole leg lifts like a door opening. All right, so there we go. We're going to sit up. I'm just going to sit cross-legged. I'm going to use that band again. And we will do a little relief on the lower body. We're going to pull that band apart. This is going to work all the little muscles that run down your spine, the multifidus muscles that support your spine. So those are good ones to have. Helps with posture as well. Just opening and closing. If you watch my videos, you know I love this exercise. I do this almost every day because it really helps me make sure my shoulders aren't rounding forward, strengthens my back, opens my chest. So I just think this is a good one for the minimal amount of time that you need to do it. It's worth it. How about 4 more? 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're going to go ahead and lay down. And I'm going to use the band again. Again, all of this could be done without the band. So let's put one foot in, the other leg's going to be down. And I'm just going to lower that leg down and lift it up. Really trying to connect to my core. Feel a little bit of work in my hamstring. The band provides a little bit of assistance. So if I didn't have the band, I can do this for sure, but it's all me. It's all my muscles working. So the band gives me a little bit of assistance, especially if you've got, if you're having pain, it's nice to have a little bit of assistance to help you out here. And you're working a little bit against resistance. All right, let's take that to a circle, over the other leg, around. What I want to see is that pelvis stays still. So a big circle, but one that doesn't require my body to rock around. That's 3. We're going to do 3 more in this direction. 3, 2, and 1. At the top, we reverse. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Before we move on to the other leg, let's take some stretches here. So I'm going to start with a hamstring stretch. My foot is flexed, and I'm just dragging that leg back. So I stretch the back of my leg, my hamstring muscles. And then I'll take that leg out to the side without letting my pelvis roll. So my hip bones are still level. Both of my cheeks are still weighted on the mat. And that leg is just opening out to the side, stretching my adductor, my inner thigh muscles. And the next one, and this is one I see people do wrong for what we're trying to do. I'm going to bring that leg across my body without rolling over. Now you could certainly roll over, but you're missing what we're trying to stretch. When you roll over, you kind of stretch in your low back, and we're trying to stretch the outside of that leg, some of those glutes we worked a minute ago. So try to keep your hips level on this one, and you'll get a better stretch for what we're looking for. Okay, we got to go to the other side. So we know those stretches are coming, so something to look forward to. And we'll start with straight leg up and down, down and up. Halfway there. And then circles down and around without my pelvis moving. My other leg stays still. Inhale down, exhale, lift that leg back up. Here's number 4. We've got 6 in each direction. And then reverse. Alrighty, we are done with that. So we'll put the band aside for now. And then let's come on to all fours. And we're going to do a little bird dog here. So bird dog is really good for your posture, for your core. So we'll start with hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Extend one leg and then add the opposite arm on. So we're pulling up and in with my core, just holding. There's a lot of balance here. Hold and breathe. That's going to strengthen my core and my spine. All right, let's bring that down. Let's try the other side. Opposite arm, opposite leg. righty, if we can do that, we can do a plank. Now your plank could be on your knees, and that's perfectly acceptable, or it could be up here. Let's hold a plank. Shooting for about 10 breaths, so we're halfway there. Couple more breaths. And then let's take a little child's pose. We'll stretch that out. Alrighty, a little bit of extension I think is in order here. So we'll come down onto our tummy. Tummy's pulled up and in, almost like there's a little grape underneath it that I'm trying not to squash. Hands are on the mat, just slightly in front of my shoulders. And I'm going to press up, lifting my tummy away from the mat and trying to keep my shoulders down. My feet are even hovering a little bit because the back of my legs and my glutes are very activated here. They're not just hanging out, they're involved. And I'm only lifting to what feels good in my body, so you might look different on this one than I do. Let's do that for 3, 2, and 1. All right, come all the way down. Let's throw a little swimming in here. Arms and legs out, opposite arm, opposite leg. Working that back body, strengthening that back body. Let's go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pressing back, little child's poses in order, and stretch that out. We are going to finish with a mermaid stretch. So all of these exercises are designed to target and strengthen and work the areas that may be contributing to your sciatic pain. So I think if you consistently do this, hopefully you're going to see some release by strengthening that core, strengthening those abs, supporting your spine a little better, improving your posture a little bit. Reach up and over. Let's take it to the other side. Nice lateral side bend. Releasing any tension that might be there. And one more. Let's change the legs to the other direction. And then let's reach up and over. Take it the other way. I sometimes feel like with these mermaids, I don't realize how much I need them until I'm actually doing them. And then it's like, oh gosh, that felt really good. Didn't realize I was tight there until I tried to stretch it out. And it's such a relief. And last one. All right, there you go. So there is a workout for you to address sciatic pain and hopefully give you some release. Definitely going to strengthen your lower abdominals and work some of those muscles. So please give that a try. Do me a favor, hit the like, give me a comment, and definitely subscribe so that I can bring more content to you in the future. If you have a recommendation, leave it in the comments, and I really appreciate you watching. Bye.